come back to continue, it looks like. It's open up a minute, Marcel. I just want to see where the patrol cars are. You saw the LAPD helicopter just fly through. And you see there the patrol cars in a line with 5 of them or so following slowly behind. So they haven't gone, completely to tracking mode like we'd seen before. This is like a partial tracking mode, right? The suspect can barely see these guys. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're in what they call a tracking mode because they're just not letting the suspect see them, giving the suspect maybe some false sense that they're not behind him or they don't know where he is. Because we do see him looking out the door all the time, looking back, engaging people on the shoulder, and just fidgeting, jumping up and down inside there basically. Just can't sit still. You can tell it really appears that he's under the influence of something. But they backed off a bit. Maybe they're content right now with him being just on the rim for him to drive until that vehicle is just not drivable any longer. At some point in time, more than likely the rim will collapse, and once you're down on the axle, then you're not going to drive at all. No, we really don't. We haven't got any information from the LAPD either. Obviously they've got a very good look. It looks like, it wasn't hot enough for him, so he put his sweatshirt back on. We saw the sweatshirt on, then we saw him take the sweatshirt off, and now we see him put the sweatshirt back on. There's another spike strip. Looks like he got around that one, though. It didn't appear to me that they were able to get him with that one. But, when he stays in one certain area, then it's easier to set out these spike strips, right? Because there's, probably 30 or 40 patrol cars all the way going on, all in the same area. And they've got the patrol cars with the spike strips in this area for this specific reason right now. So they can throw them out. I'm assuming we're going to see more of that until they get more of the tires flat. And then that will end this. Irene, we saw him throw what appeared to be a jar or a bottle of apple juice out the window. He was drinking something, but no indication as to what might be in there. There was a vest.
Hello, Jester.
Talking about.
Hello, everybody.
Speculating, if he does work for that company, maybe that vest is, something he puts on when he gets to the job site. That's just pure speculation, though. We have no idea. We did see the vest inside there. We've seen him, with the dark sweater on, then take it off, and now put it back on.
Yeah, this is LA.
So, you're obviously dealing with an extremely unstable individual here. There's no doubt about that.
So far, it's LA. He's probably under the influence. This has been going on for like the last, more than almost 2 hours now. They obviously, you can see they took out at least one of his front tires.
That's correct. I mean, it's got to hit. We saw it hit the tire. We saw the tire roll over, and it didn't work. It didn't engage properly. So they've got to get it out there, and they've got to get it so the spikes are sticking up in the right way, so it doesn't just roll over it and not puncture the tire. But it's not easy when the suspect's driving at 6 to 7 miles an hour, and he almost comes to a stop at every intersection. If you can imagine if he's doing the speed limit of 45.
There's not really, we don't know. It may be that he... it may be that he stole this truck.
So they don't give other people flats. It'd be much easier. But in this situation, open up. Is there another spike strip here? Because a lot of times when we see him stop before an intersection, he believes that there's going to be...
The patrol cars are following behind, but they're giving it distance.
But you can tell what his strategy is if he has one, and that is, okay, oh, is the door open? Is he going to get out?
Uh-oh.
Push on in. It's the first time
we see the
door open, and hopefully he just gets out of the vehicle. Unfortunately, that's not the case.
Nope. Still going.
Yeah, he's aware that they're putting spike strips out. There's no
Oh,
doubt
really,
about that
Jack?
because he slows down at every
Nice.
intersection. And I don't know if he's traveling this slow because he's having a hard time getting the vehicle moving, or if he's just traveling this slow because he wants to do that.
Yes, this is
But it's
live.
very difficult to accelerate when you have one tire down to the rim. And as I mentioned earlier, what happens is there's so much weight in this vehicle that as time goes on.
Oh God, what have I done? Oh, I closed it off by accident. Ah, no, 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 no. Oh no, what have I done?
I mean, you can't drive on the rim forever. It'll snap. It'll crack.
I closed the wrong window.
Once that happens, the vehicle's pretty much can't be driven. And look at that. You see when he hits the brake? So when things like that happen, it's just a matter of time before that rim's going to give up altogether.
All right, we're back. Yeah, I'm on my lunch break. The only reason I thought about doing it is because I was thinking that we're getting close to the conclusion of this, because it's been a very boring chase so far, really slow speed chase, considering what he's driving and what he's hauling. But given that they've taken out at least one of his tires, I would have thought that this would be close to finishing.
What happened? Yeah, you can tell it's also getting much more difficult for this vehicle to continue to move. I want to show you out. It's too far. I won't pull out that far. But if you go about a block and a half away, you've got a half a dozen patrol cars. And I think what they're trying to do is just stop some of the traffic on Ventura Boulevard so people don't drive up next to them. It's inevitable. You can't stop all of it. But you see on the left side of your screen right there are the patrol cars. So they're trying to stop traffic on Ventura going westbound. There's some traffic they can't stop, like from these surface streets or the parking lots onto Ventura Boulevard. But they're trying to keep as many people away from him as possible. And they want to be right behind him if this comes to a stop and he makes a run for it. They'd like to get him into custody. But, obviously it's getting more and more difficult for the suspect to continue down on that one.
Oh, really, Jeff?
At this
Nice.
point in time. And it's inevitable at some point this is going to end. And, we've been watching it now, as you mentioned, for 2 hours. There was one traffic collision, but we don't think anybody's been hurt. And as far as danger to the public, there's another spike strip.
Oh.
And it's hard to say. They may have got that left rear. That would be nice. Yep. Yep.
I don't know about millions, but tens of thousands for sure.
So they think they got it, but we heard that on the last one too, and they didn't have it. So we're going to have to see. But that one looks successful. I think if they've got the right front and the left rear, this vehicle is going to have a real hard time going anywhere fast. And, it doesn't appear the suspect has any indication he's just going to give himself up. I mean, unless maybe.
Well, Charlie, when you're hopped up on controlled dangerous substance, you're not really thinking straight.
Drugs wear off, if that's what this is all about.
See?
It's going to be tough to keep this going if they did get that left rear tire and then the right front is already down to the rim. But we just hope this ends without incident and nobody gets hurt. As of right now, we don't think anybody's been hurt in this 2-hour-long pursuit, except for the initial accident that we don't know a lot about that happened at 7:20 up at DeSoto and Lassen and Chatsworth. We don't know for sure, but it may not be this was the vehicle involved in that accident. This vehicle may have been stolen. Pure speculation. We're just trying to piece things together. We got
onlookers,
but we just know it was
live
a
streaming
incident. And then we know it was a stolen vehicle. We believed in the pursuit.
Oh, hey, Miss Mandy, I'm going live.
In the accident was a stolen vehicle, so it's hard.
You've now gotten your notice.
Really interested in giving us that because we got so much other things to worry about, and you understand that. So we haven't been able to piece it all together. But if they did get the left rear, and I think they did because you see the vehicle swerving a bit, then I think this may be over soon. Yeah. I'm dragging that trailer.
True. It was stolen at a gas station. Well, I guess that's the current
Yeah, let's hope not much
narrative.
further, right? That's enough of this.
That's like the current narrative.
We just, like I said before, I mean, you follow these things. There's no rhyme and reason to them ever, but you just don't want anyone to get hurt. We're on Ventura Boulevard, headed westbound into the Woodland Hills area, coming up on Winnetka. For the most part, the entire time, it started in Chatsworth. It's been in the Woodland Hills, Canoga Park area for the most part. And making a left turn here, I think what we're going to see is it's just going to be extremely difficult to maneuver and to control that truck if we do have the left rear flat. We haven't been able to get to that side and confirm it yet. We're working on that, but there's a lot of other aircrafts up here in the LAPD, and we have to have separation. So sometimes we can't get exactly where we want to get, but you can tell by the way it's sliding there. You see it's kind of sliding? I'm pretty sure that left rear tire is right down to the rim as well. So I really have a feeling they're going to be able to stop this.
I'm trying to get the other angle. Yeah, he's currently Kyle. He's currently caught 2 stars.
And it's really weird how he engages individuals. When he gets next to an individual, he engages, tries to talk to them. And I don't know what these 2 people are doing right here in front of him. If they really think they're trying to intervene and stop traffic, that's not a good idea. I don't know if that's the case, but look what it did to the suspect. It just made him speed up. Let's push into that and see if they got it. It's really hard.
Settle down, Jester.
Did they get maybe a tire on the trailer as well? Hopefully they got that left rear. It looks like it might be going down slowly, but it's just so hard to tell.
No, they didn't get it.
They may have just got the inner one and not the outer one. I think there's 2 tires on that double rim there. You could tell when those individuals tried to stop him, he took off. And now you see somebody next to him. It looks like they're filming him. So I tell you, when these pursuits, they go on for a while. A lot of people want to get out and get
going. Of course. They got to get them TikToks, going.
It's not a good idea. No. Yeah. Yeah, try and start a conversation about nothing. Bike, push into that right rear. I mean, I don't see it flat yet. That goes completely flat if it does. It does seem to be wobbling a bit, so hopefully that's the case. That's really going to deter. Yeah, Irene, don't want to get involved. You can get arrested for being involved. You get involved in this thing, you try and intervene, you try and stop this, you can get arrested.
I don't know what it looks like he's pulling. It looks like a generator, but I'm not sure.
They don't want you anywhere near that, and if you have any sense whatsoever, you're not going to. Is this BMW right here trying to speed up and take more pictures? It almost looks like it.
Seriously, bro? Yeah, welcome to 2023, guys. This is 2023.
Yeah.
Bro, for real?
Yeah, not recommended, not smart, but everybody wants to get, wants to get the picture. And there he goes. He's going to pull up. He's going to shoot with a phone. And, boy, you just never know. I mean, he just may ram that vehicle just out of spite because the guy's doing that. It's
hey, Tones.
Good. Push all the way into the tire. Unfortunately, I don't see the left rear going flat. A little flat, but we don't see it all the way down.
Hey, Griggsy.
So hopefully it's slowly going to go all the way down because that'll really restrict the
already, that's a hydraulic concrete pump. Okay.
Maneuverability of this vehicle and hopefully stop this pursuit. Open up a little bit now that he's stopped, if you would, Marcel. Just want to get an idea what's going on. So look at the tow truck, and it looks like, is that a G-Wagon or a Jeep? That's the same 2 vehicles that were in front of him before. It's a Jeep. And the same tow truck. Remember they tried to stop him a moment ago? So there's a lot of people in here on Ventura Boulevard that are basically engaged in anything. They shouldn't, but they are. And then you see the LAPD cruisers behind them. Maybe 100 yards or so now. They've moved up a little bit. So
gotcha.
They haven't gone completely away from tracking mode. They're still...
I have the feeling there's a reason why the LAPD is giving him a wide berth. There's got to be a reason why they're giving him a wide berth, or else they could have ended the chase a long time ago if they wanted to, if they really wanted to.
Engaged somewhat, and then they have the helicopter overhead. And you could tell he continues to look back, and we'll just hope that tire in the right rear there, or the left rear there, goes flat soon. 15.
I think the current lore tones is that he may have caused an accident and then stole a truck to run away. I don't know. Don't take my word for that.
Yeah.
But he probably stole the nearest truck that was available to him after causing an accident. I don't know if that's the current... I think that's the current lore, but I'm not sure.
Continuing on, we don't see a flat on that left rear like we thought we would, and if that was the case, I really thought that maybe this would come to an end pretty soon, but with just the right front and driving at this rate of speed, it could probably continue on for a long time. I follow a lot of pursuits when they're on a rim and they're traveling at a high rate of speed, that rim does not hold up for long, but when you're just barely moving like this, you could probably go on way too long. And there comes a BMW again. It's the same knucklehead.
The same BMW is still getting his video.
This suspect really
he's probably live on TikTok
with the individuals. Every time he tries to get some gestures going, tries to talk to whoever is on the shoulder. And in a lot of cases, when we follow these pursuits, and
I swear to God, I'm willing to bet you they're like a 50,000 follower Andy on TikTok, and they think that this is their big break. And they're currently live on TikTok.
Almost all of them. We see the suspects on the phone. This individual hasn't been. We talked about how erratic he's been inside the cab of this truck. Looking out, pointing down, gesturing at people, throwing bottles out, grabbing something from the back, looking at the tires, looking back at the police, and not for one moment.
Gotcha. All right, gotcha, Mark.
He's
Thanks.
fidgeting. He's very nervous. He's, obviously, as I mentioned, according to the police, they believe he's under the influence of something. Well, we've seen a couple of close calls. We've seen him go into oncoming traffic, but it's such a low rate of speed. It wasn't like we were, thinking, oh my goodness, somebody's going to die here. He did make a couple of maneuvers and, pulling that trailer. The trailer went up onto the curb. At one point there was an accident during the pursuit at Sherman Way and Corbin. We haven't seen anything that really got our attention like, oh my goodness, because of the rate of speed hasn't been that high. But that's no indicator that might not happen here sometime soon if this individual gets desperate or more desperate. But it looks like that right rear tire, or I should say the left rear tire, the one on the right side of your screen, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going flat to me. If it is, it's doing it awful slowly. They initially tried several times on Topanga Canyon Boulevard. Those were all unsuccessful. At this point in time, we only believe
Mariner on the
7
land.
or 8 that they tried. One was successful, and it's not easy for them to deploy it in some situations. The first indication is when they missed it the first time, this guy is aware that they're trying to do it. So every time he comes up on an intersection, he drives slow. When they did it on Topanga Canyon Boulevard, he was able to maneuver around, and Topanga was big enough he could even make a U-turn when he saw they were in front of him. So he saw a lot of activity like that. LAPD has patrol cars in this whole area. We're in Woodland Hills right now on Ventura Boulevard. For the most part, it's all been on the West Valley. And more than likely, they're going to do some more spike strips. But the officers don't want to get right in front of the vehicle. I mean, there's a couple of things they're worried about. He could gun it. He could try and hit the officer. He could just swerve towards the officer and say, I'm going to hit that guy. They don't want an officer to get hurt. Second, we don't know if the suspect's armed. We don't know if he could get out of the vehicle and open fire on the officer. So there's a lot of dynamics here. There's a lot of things going on that you can't predict. And so it's just not as easy as, hey, man, throw that thing out in front of the tire. It just doesn't work that way. You'd like to think it does. And, now there's another factor, and that's that the public are getting involved. They're pulling up trying to engage this guy. And it just makes it harder for law enforcement because they got to worry about the public as well, and now they're getting next to this individual who could be very dangerous.
Yes, he stopped at a stoplight, obeying traffic laws, at least to that respect, to that extent. There we go.
Here comes a BMW again. Thank you.
Thank you, Tia, for the 99 cents super sticker. And Jam and Jet, thank you for becoming a member.
Yeah, Irene and Tony, we just heard that they're calling out SWAT, so they may bring an armored vehicle out.
Ooh.
And they may believe that with the armored vehicle they can get in front of them. Did you just throw something out, or is that a piece of the tire? Look like a piece of tire. You don't see it in the, you don't see it in this shot, but the right front, we went to this side because we thought the left rear was hit with a spike strip, but the right front tire is gone. It's just on the rim. If you're just joining us. But we do understand that SWAT's been called, and they may bring the armored vehicle out to try and stop this. It looks like, though, if the suspect continues with what he's doing right now, he's not a huge threat to people out on the road, and that's good, because a lot of these pursuits we follow are just so dangerous, they scare you.
Yeah, true. Get that. They'll probably get the Bearcat.
Oh, door's open. Hopefully he gets out here. We've seen that a couple of times. That's the second time, Irene, we've seen him open the door. This continue on. He's just so erratic. There's no way of knowing what's going on inside this guy's head. What he may or may not do. You can see by this shot, we're on Ventura Boulevard, just crossing Shoup, and in the Woodland Hills area. But LAPD's backed off again. Like I said, they did call in SWAT, but I don't think that's going to be an immediate thing. I think that's going to take some time before they really get deployed and get out here. And hopefully it'll be over by then. But look at all the tread that's coming off. It's almost gone completely, and then I think even at this speed, eventually that rim is going to collapse. And when it does collapse, it could start a fire. You see the smoke? The cab could start on fire. That'll get them out. Or the rim will collapse, and once that happens, you just can't drive the vehicle at all, and it'll be over. So it is the left rear almost a little flat? It almost appears, the right rear right there, is that one almost a little flat? It almost appears that it is, but it didn't go completely down to the rim. But, hopefully this will just be over soon. We're still on Ventura Boulevard, slowly headed westbound through the Woodland Hills area. I'm going to speed tracker.
Thank you, Thomas, for the gifted membership. Yes, yeah. The only tire that's been taken out by the strip is the front right tire.
He stops at the red lights, so he doesn't want to kill himself. And now you have the patrol cars right behind him, so it's been really interesting to watch this pursuit as far as what the police strategy is. 1 minute they're tracking mode, the next minute they're right behind him, the next minute every intersection they're trying to get a spike strip out. Now they're calling out SWAT. Of course, the helicopter's overhead. If he gets low on fuel, they'll call in another one, so they'll definitely keep the helicopter on this individual. Stopping at red lights, and then it's difficult for the vehicle to get going. There's a lot of drag when you don't have a right front tire. So the initial startup of the vehicle. And Marcel, it looks to me like that one's getting a little flat on the right rear as well. So it looks to me, I don't know if to you guys or it's just a shadow, but it appears to me that's getting flat. And if that happens, then it's going to be really difficult for the vehicle to move at all, okay, because it's a rear-wheel drive truck. And if you get that rear tire down to the rim and the front tire down to the rim, it's going to be hard to get up any type of speed. It's also going to be hard to control the vehicle. And we're not seeing a very high rate of speed at all anymore, and that may be one of the reasons. Yeah, slowly but surely, it's going to be more and more difficult to drive this vehicle, and it's encouraging that the right rear is going flat as well. That's really going to make it more difficult. Open up for a moment, Marcel. I can't see. Are they still right behind him? Yeah, they're pretty much following right behind. I don't see a spike strip up ahead, another one, but we could get one. And fortunately, there's not a lot of volume right here on Ventura Boulevard headed westbound. There's been a lot of construction on this, so I think a lot of folks avoid it. Not only that, Ventura Boulevard, at some point ends once you hit Valley Circle. And then that'll be, you could get on the freeway at this point in time, but it'd be a surprise, I think, if the suspect did that. But, you never know. You can't get into the mind of these individuals at all. You can't even guess them. And every time you try and guess what they might do, in my experience, you're going to be wrong. But it's good that it's going slow. It's good that they made progress with getting more of the tires flat. And it's good that we don't see really any danger to the public. And as far as we know, no one's been hurt. So that's good as far as pursuits go as well. Push into that tire, Marcel. It looks like it's almost all the way down now onto the rim. So
they did get the rear tire.
At this point in time, or a matter of time before this is over, I don't think he's going to be able to continue once that.
I didn't realize they got the rear tire.
Really going to be difficult to control this truck. Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, it depends on so many factors, depending on how they cover it. It depends on the agency. It depends on the supervisor who's telling the officers exactly how they're going to proceed. We're seeing them speed up a little bit, and we're going to end up at Valley Circle here in a moment. They don't have any units at Valley Circle. When we see higher speeds, though, like we're seeing here for the moment, that just means more pressure on those tires and the rims, and it could indicate they're not going to be able to control the vehicle. You see some swerving there. Not sure if he's doing it on purpose, but you can see having a very difficult time controlling this truck. Now, this is Valley Circle. If it continues with a right turn there, we'll be going back northbound, so back up into the Woodland Hills area. But we do have all the officers still right behind him at this point in time. And just to give you guys an indication, we have probably another 5 minutes maximum before we're going to have to break for fuel ourselves. And we're hoping he runs out of fuel before we do.
Uh-oh.
20 minutes. Yeah. Other side.
Fox just pulled out for fuel. Got it.
Yeah, we're going to try and get to the other side, and then we can get a better look at the two tires. That the right front that's down to the rim, and then the other one you can see is about ready to lose the tire completely in the rear as well. And then it's really, 27 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour is fast when you're down to just rims and you can't control the vehicle. There's
that's
a huge amount of traffic.
That's
on Valley
pure
Circle.
rims now.
Right
Wow.
in front of the high school. Fortunately, they're not in session. I don't see a lot of traffic in the area, but you can tell right down to the rim. We had some smoke coming out a moment ago. At the higher speed, you start to see sparking. Sometimes you'll see a fire start. You start to see that rim will just unravel. And like I mentioned earlier, when the rim does get down to the
Hey, John, thank you for the
right down to
$1.
the axle, it's over. You're not going anywhere. But it certainly has taken a long time. And we've got patrol cars, for the most part, still right behind him. It's right in front of the high school here on Valley Circle, headed northbound. But a pretty high rate of speed, considering you're just on a rim there. Oh, the brakes. It's going to break. Yep.
Uh-oh.
When he hits the brakes, one of these times, that rim is going to snap, and then it's over, okay? Because there's so much pressure on that rim. You could see it when he hits the brakes. And, officers right behind him, they realize he's having a hard time maneuvering. He's got you see how the rim is turned there. He's trying to maneuver the vehicle, having a very hard time. And they're just hoping this individual gets out of the vehicle and they can get this over without incident. It's gone on long enough. Nobody's got hurt. That's just
I know,
getting this
right?
individual into custody. The vehicle's having a really hard time accelerating. Once it gets up to 27, 30 miles an hour, it's not too bad. But getting to that speed, you can tell, is very difficult. Especially it's a rear-wheel drive vehicle, and once it's all the way down to the rim on the back tire, it's going to be very difficult for it to get going. And a couple more slams on the brakes,
Nice, Arto.
slamming on the brakes, and that rim can just collapse. It gets down to the axle, and the vehicle's not going anywhere.
Man. Hey, thank you, Transgirl. Thank you for the 25 months. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well.
It certainly is. I mean, it could go, it could go on for another hour. One time I followed a pursuit of a Land Rover that went down to the rim on the 101 North, all the way up into Ventura, and I believe it drove like 100 miles on the rims. So if you don't drive too fast, you can go for a long time, but slamming on the brakes is going to make that rim collapse at some point. We do hope it gets over soon, because our ability to cover it here is going to diminish probably. I don't know, we have 3 or 4 minutes, and then we're close to Van Nuys Airport, so it's easy for us to duck in there and get fuel. We don't have concerns, but once we get down to a certain point, we have to head that direction, and certainly we will. We did hear that they're going to call in SWAT. At this point in time, I don't really know what SWAT is going to do, and if SWAT's going to be activated, like, to get in front of this guy. Maybe they're thinking that SWAT should be available if this turns out to be a standoff at some point. I really don't think that they would put an armored vehicle in front of this vehicle to try and stop it. I've never seen anything like that. But there goes the right rear, and when that tire comes off altogether and they're down to the rim, it's going to really diminish this guy's ability to keep going and to control the vehicle. As I look outside, open up out of your shot a little bit. So we're coming up here, I think maybe on Sherman Way. Is it Sherman Way or Platt, actually? On Valley Circle. It turns into Platt at Victory Boulevard. He's making a stop. There's an intersection here.
Contractors, am I right?
Cars behind him. Looks like he might be trying to make a right turn. We just don't know if it's making a right turn. He just can't control the vehicle, but it looks like a right turn now. Back to basically the same area where we saw most of this pursuit go.
Oh, this is live, Lisette. This is live right now.
Control it.
Yep, he's driving on rims, and that rear passenger tire is about to go. Well, Greg, see, this is California, so...
Hold on a second. We're hearing they might try and pit him. We want to be here for that. Can we go to the light? Are you cool, or you want to go now? To go a couple minutes. Okay. How
this is a slow speed chase.
Seriously going to pit this? No way.
How are they going to
pit this? I can't believe that they could pit this. It wouldn't work. Yeah. Oh, the guy's a rookie. Oh, here we go. Get some speed up. That's he might crash.
Uh-oh.
We'll lose control of this vehicle.
Navy contractor for 34 years. Hey, Wazoo, thank you for the 19 months.
Guys, I'm assuming that we are. So there was
I have to switch to another
pit, and then I just couldn't believe that would be the case, and it's not. The supervisor said, no, you can't pit this guy. But we're seeing that. There you go. Lost the tread altogether. Down to the
there,
rim,
and we're gone.
A lot of weight back there. It's a rear drive.
Idle, thank you for the $2. True.
To continue. What's our speed tracker? What's our pace here? Because even at 35 miles an hour, that's pretty fast on the rim. One quick move with the steering wheel with a guy who's really been indecisive and fidgeting and really not in control of himself for the most part. One quick turn, this thing could flip over, and you could cause the damage to other vehicles. You could hurt or even kill someone. We're on Victory Boulevard headed eastbound. We've been on Victory Boulevard several times in the Woodland Hills area. This has gone on for over 2.5 hours now. There was one accident involved. We don't think anyone was hurt. And coming to a stop will be interesting, because once the vehicle stops, especially if it hits the brakes, you see so much pressure on the front rim, the right front rim that's lost the tire there. And then getting going is going to be difficult. To accelerate is going to be nearly impossible when the back is down to the rim. So a lot of factors going on here. Go ahead. You got it.
Uh-oh, looks like ABC7's camera is on the fritz. Uh-oh. Or are they heading back out?
Great job, John.
Oh, they're going. They're heading back out.
Very good job, man. Very good. Really excellent, excellent.
They're going to refuel.
Yeah, Marcel, incredible. But for Johnny, that's pretty amazing because he didn't have that much time covering these pursuits. So that was phenomenal. I wasn't nervous once.
Is Fox back live? Hold on. What's the local Fox channel in LA? Ah. Bam.
Are we up on the internet? Did you say we're up on the internet?
We are on the internets.
Okay. All right, copy. Yeah, no, I have to put it under my headset, and they just keep hanging up on me. Like I hear them, and then it goes dead. But they're all right. I'll try again. And I'm also waiting to go live on the internet. Let me know if
You are live on the internet.
try it again. Hello. Hey, what's happening? Are we already live or we are live or we're not? I'm sorry. I actually have a cell phone underneath my headsets. That's how I'm talking to you. I'm sorry. It's best it's gonna get. It's the best it's gonna get. I'm sorry. Yeah, anytime. And what's the show? What's the show?
Guys, I'll be right back. I got to turn off the camera right quick, but I'll be right back. I'm still here.
Yes, I can. And I'm so glad to be on live now. You have no idea. And it is a pursuit. And you know what? As soon as you come to us, yes, I can hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear me. No, that's what we've been having this issue a little bit earlier on. No, the pursuit continues to go on out here, and if you guys are just starting to watch it, you know, it's not really a very fast-moving pursuit, but it's a very heavy vehicle, and it's been going on for quite some time. There, the owner of that vehicle was actually getting gas about 2 hours ago, and somewhere at the gas station, that person behind the wheel now just stole the vehicle. It was a crime of opportunity, as we understand it. Now, he's made his way through the valley for much of the area, much of the morning, for about two hours or so. And, you know, I understand that a lot of this stuff isn't local viewers. So when I say the valley, I'm talking about San Fernando Valley out here in the California area. Now, they did see some really scary moments where somebody actually tried to block that vehicle in. It was a little blue, I guess like a Honda or something, and that truck just pushed that thing out of the way like it was nothing, creating a lot of damage. And then, of course, a lot of folks that were nearby started to try to run that person down, meaning that, you know, they were making their way over to that truck, just yelling out the windows, you know, telling them to stop or whatever. That driver has no intentions of stopping and hasn't. So how does LAPD handle something like this? That's the big question. And, you know, you actually actually, I feel for them, because how do you bring that thing to a stop? You can't do a pit maneuver. You can't get in front of it, because we saw what's happened in the past. Well, there goes one of the tires right there. And what was, what their deal was is they wound up using spike strips. And those spike strips have been pretty effective. Now that truck, on just the truck itself, not the trailer, has 6 tires. You've got 4 in the rear and 2 in the front. Now the passenger side, driver front, completely gone. And I can venture to say from what we just saw, the duals in the rear are gone as well. So they're starting to lose the tires, and the good thing is it might not be able to go. If all those tires start coming off and you're just on the rims, it might have a little bit of a trouble actually going, and that will create an opportunity for offers maybe to bring this thing to an end. But very dangerous situation for sure. We try to poke some fun at it sometimes, especially on slower moving vehicles like this. But what that truck can do is very scary, meaning if he slides into somebody, pedestrian, it could be tragic. And of course, and somebody just driving, it could be the same way. But right now, the pursuit just continues on, very slow speeds. LAPD, you've got 1 vehicle behind it. I know there's probably 4 or 5. And what they're doing is just kind of slowing the traffic. This is Los Angeles, or this is actually the valley out here, part of the city of Los Angeles. And there's always a lot of traffic. This morning, I'm actually running the camera with one hand and holding the cell phone with the other. Sorry about that. But it basically is creating a lot of traffic problems. But, LAPD, they got to keep people safe. And the only thing they can do right now is lights and sirens, let people know that this is coming down their way. And hopefully that driver just decides to give up. If it was nighttime, we might be seeing some sparks coming out of that front rim. But because it's daytime, maybe not so much. If the tires come off completely, and this is where it gets kind of weird, it's one of those ones, if the tires come off completely, depending on which side the drive wheel is on, we might start seeing those shower sparks even in the daytime. That pumper, that is a very heavy piece of equipment. That has 1 tire is flat also on the passenger side. Now people might be saying, well, geez, Stu, why aren't you on the passenger side? Well, flip-flopping with the helicopter, not that easy. And we always try to stay on the side with the driver, just, in case this thing comes to an end. The driver's the one that we're going to want to keep an eye on. So that's one of the reasons why we're on this side. LAPD, they're trying to bring this thing to an end. That driver, it's been going on for about 2 hours. If that thing has a full tank of gas, which it may have because they stole it from the gas station, this could be going on for hours. But LAPD, their task was trying to bring this thing to an end, and what they're doing right now is trying to keep the public safe. As the speeds pick up like this is where I always get worried, because that thing's not going to be able to stop as easy because it's missing all the tires on the passenger side right now, basically running on.
Oh, hey, I'm back.
Oh my goodness, I don't know if you can hear me at all, but I lost you there for just a moment. You were talking about the types of pursuits and things, and LAPD is not going to just let this one go, if that was the question. They were in tracking mode earlier on, basically, where they just kind of said, we're going to keep the helicopter over it, going to keep an eye on what's going on. That's when things
Hold on.
strange. That's when that truck actually rammed into one of the vehicles trying to stop it. And when I say a vehicle, I'm talking about a civilian vehicle, not law enforcement. And when that happened, that's when kind of things changed up a little bit. LAPD saw that this person is a menace, and it doesn't seem to care about property. That officer, his door is open, not because the air conditioning isn't working. It's open because he wants to be able to deploy if that suspect decides to get out and run. But we haven't seen that. That driver basically kind of keeping himself inside that car there. I don't know where you guys are located at exactly, but the temperatures are hot out here today. And we were even venturing to say maybe the
2 Bearcats en route. I figured they were going to get a Bearcat. That's the reason why they called up SWAT.
I was actually working with our local station there for just a second, but we were making jokes that maybe he's just trying to stay cool in there. But you know, the reality is those police cars have got air conditioning as well, and when they take them to the police station, I'm sure there's going to be AC there as well too. So that's probably not the reason why. But he just continues to drive around out here, just kind of meandering and visiting the same areas. We're back on the street where we were about an hour and a half ago, and you can see there you go. No tires at all, just on the rims, and this truck continues to drive. Copy all. Copy all, copy all.
I'm about a few minutes before I have to stop, guys.
Yes, yeah, sure. Hey, what happened with digital? Did we ever get digital?
Oh, finally, they're here. All right, I can turn this down now.
Well, we are on digital. Gosh, guys, you know, you guys are just seeing picture and no audio. I want to talk to you guys, let you know what's going on out here. Well, that's that pursuit that's been going on through the valley for about 2 hours, maybe more. And you can see that the spike strips have been effective. He's lost 3 of the 6 wheels that are actually tires. The wheels are still there. The tires that were on that truck. In the back there, you've got a dually. So
Johannesburg,
you've got 2 tires in
2
the
hours
rear,
getting
1 tire up
hijacked.
in the
Oh my
front,
God.
all completely gone right now, and this truck continues to drive. But he also lost 1 of the tires, or maybe not. Look at that right there. That one.
Sure, hold on a second.
Low. That's going to start heating up. We're going to start seeing that coming apart as well. Now, this is all happening out here in the valley, where you probably got the banner up there as well. Don't need to call out the streets, but I can tell you, what does LAPD do? I'm sure a lot of you folks, especially on the internet, you all have got ideas, and they're like, well, they should do this, and why aren't they doing that? You know what? What can you do? That truck, we saw it earlier on, basically just pushed that little Honda around like it was nothing, spun it around actually as it pushed it out of the way, pushed it into another vehicle. That driver actually made their way over to that truck later on, or the suspect behind the wheel, but then there wasn't really much you could do. You cannot bring that thing to a stop. You can't do the pit maneuver, but so what they've been doing? Well, they've been using those spike strips. And is it working? Well, people are going to say, well, it's not working, it's still driving. Well, you know what? It is right now, but if they continue to do it, maybe get the other tires in the rear, I'm sure a lot of the folks out there, they all know how these cars drive, these trucks drive, and if they have no drive or there's no traction, that truck's really going to start having a problem moving. Do I want to see this turn into a standoff? I do not. Those are one of the most boring, lame things that we ever see. Where the cops can, basically surround it. That guy sits in there until the AC stops working, and then hangs out for gosh knows how long before they actually go in and try to get that guy out. So, anyways, but right now, what we want to see is this thing come to an end peacefully. We don't want to see anybody get hurt. And when those tires start coming off, that truck is going to become extremely.
All right, guys, we got to stop here.
To drive and very much less maneuverable. So those are the issues that we got to deal with.
I was hoping they could bring it to a conclusion, but I got to stop here. But I will be back on today at 6. We're going to go over Delete Laws' lawsuit. Remember, we're going to go over Delete Laws' lawsuit and the latest filings there today. We got plenty of more stuff for the rest of the week, so I might even stream tomorrow because there's a lot to go through. But here's the link to the chase.
So right now, we're gonna keep an eye on it.
I'm gonna post a pin on the
right now, all the
on there.
they're gonna need some tires to get that truck back.
But I will see you guys later this evening. Okay, 6 o'clock Eastern. All right. Take care, guys.
Do any kind of concrete work, but that's what that is. That's a concrete pumper. Those hoses right there, they attach to that thing and they pour concrete into that bin.
Bye bye.